To no one's surprise whatsoever, they announced officially for The Last of Us Season 3 it's going to be all about Abby, to which I say, duh! But of course, I only know that because I played the games, but officially over on Hollywood Reporter, they just announced Last of Us creators confirm Caitlin Dever led Season 3. I was sure they wouldn't let us do it. While celebrating the second season of Last of Us at the Emmys FYC event on Tuesday, co-creators Neil Mazin and Craig Druckmann offered up a few details about what's in store for Season 3. The duo took part in 2 panels at the event. The first alongside cinematographer Kezia Sareda, costume designer Anne Foley, editor Timothy Good, and more boring stuff I don't need to read. During that conversation, Mazin mused how they build these extensive, meticulous sets. We tend to light things on fire, smash them, tear them down, something they may change for Season 3. It's more of a water season than a fire season, Druckmann revealed. As Mazin confirmed, it's a wetter season than a hotter season. Do they mean literally, or are they trying to say like Earth, Wind, and Fire type thing or something? Like Season 1 is Earth, or Season 2 is Fire, and that's water? I don't know. Later, following a screening of the second season's second episode, because that's the best episode of the season by far, Mazin and Druckmann returned with stars Bella Ramsey, Isabella Merced, Gabrielle Luna, and Young Mazzino, with Caitlin Dever appearing virtually as she's working on another project in Australia. Rob McElhenney, who repeatedly declared The Last of Us as his favorite show on television. Rob McElhenney is, of course, from Always Sunny in Philadelphia and also is on Mythic Quest on Apple TV. Druckmann discussed how he'd been involved in several failed attempts to adapt his game. Yeah, we already know that from the first season. I think it was good to go on that journey to end up at HBO, end up in a place that leaned into those controversial decisions, killing off Pedro's character in the second season. But the decisions are just what the story required, and even now it's like I can't believe they let us structure the series this way. Meaning like we just ended Season 2, and Season 3 is going to be starting, spoiler alert, Caitlin. What? Deborah jokingly reacted, as McKinley teased, had you closed your deal yet? You just got a ton of leverage. Druckmann continued, I was sure they wouldn't let us do this when they started adapting, but they leaned into what makes, I believe, the story special. It allowed us not only the time, but the creative freedom to be able to take these swings. I think the audience really appreciates that. Caitlin Dever said taking part of the conversation remotely makes me so happy to be part of the family and get to look forward to the journey we have ahead too. Dever added that the controversy surrounding Abby was never really a concern. They just given my first meeting with Craig and Neil and how wonderful they are and how talented they are getting on set, I never felt so carried on a set in my life. What does she mean by that? Like literally they carried her around because she's too small or something? As McElhenney jokingly berated Dever for killing Pascal. You killed America's sweetheart. You brutally murdered America's sweetheart with the golf club. Mason explained the decision, noting, to invest all this time and then go away for a long time and then come back is even more dangerous to do what we did. You weren't away for a long time. You're away for a year or two. That's why I thought it should be done, because it doesn't happen enough. Well, it also did happen in the game, so I'm not sure why you're saying that like you decided it. It's in the game. So I think plot armor is a real problem, and in a show where we try and keep things as grounded as possible, hashtag like the game, and we want people to feel in real danger. And yes, sometimes the people that we can't imagine dying, die. Because for me, it's not a show about revenge, it's a show about grief. How are we supposed to grieve if nobody we truly are invested in dies? That's the end of the article, and we do not know when Season 3 is officially coming out. But I am curious about this decision to let this be known. Were they pressured to reveal this information? Because like I mentioned, me and all the other people who play the game know that the second half is Abby's story. But why did they decide to tell us and not wait till the beginning of Season 3? Maybe they were scared. They're realizing that this season was not as good as Season 1. Not even close, really. And they're like, well, we don't want to surprise them next season. And then they find out that it's all Abby and they're going to be like, what the F? They're going to be like, what the F? Where's Ellie? And I'm sure we're still going to see Ellie, just not as much. Curious to me why they're deciding to announce this. I think that even though HBO is letting them do this, HBO is like, all right, you can do this, but you need to tell people that's what's going to happen so they're not surprised when Season 3 starts. That's what I think happened. I'm not saying I'm right. That's just what I think may have happened. HBO doesn't want the audience to be that shocked when they start watching Season 3 and be like, okay, what's going on here? But this is not exactly the hugest news ever, unless you don't know the games at all. Maybe it is, but to all the 5 of you that are watching, you probably know the games and know all this. The creators officially announced that Season 3 will be about. Curious to see how that all plays out. I guess we have another 2 years or so to find out, considering it was 2 years between 1 and 2, so does this mean Season 3 will come out in 2027? Very likely, but we will see. Until then, my friends, don't forget to like and subscribe and to keep gaming.